This is the Kitchen Sink WP Podcast, episode 506.
I program my home computer.
We have a server crash, 404 error, page not found, links aren't working, system is crashing, system is crashing, system is crashing.
Your old HTML website, barely alive. We have the technology. We have WordPress. A new website, better than it was before. Better, stronger, faster. Why, hello everybody, this is Adam Silver, the host of the Kitchen Sink WP podcast. Thanks for being here. Let's get started. All right, upcoming events. We have 3 this next weekend. We have WordCamp Montreal in Quebec, Canada, November 8th. It's actually an online event, by the way. Don't travel there because there's nowhere to go. It's all online. So there's also WordCamp Valencia in España in Spain, November 10th and 11th, and WordCamp Manila in the Philippines, November 11th as well. So if you were in those areas, by all means, go. Also, there's my birthday, November 9th, if you want to send me a card, gift card, Starbucks, because I need more caffeine in my life, or I don't know, something else. Anyway, you can go ahead and find me online. Do that if you want. I dare you. Anyway, all right. Segment 1, moving on. In the news, a couple of things here to talk about. First and foremost, WordPress 6.4 release candidate 3 is now available. The release date is November 7th, which is the day after this episode drops. So if you hear this late, it's probably already out and too late to use the release candidate 3, but there you go. Also in the news, WooCommerce has rebranded as just Woo, which is kind of interesting. It's a shorter, more playful version of the company name, apparently, that most people already use. They say, we just use Woo. I don't know if I've ever said that. I just say I use WooCommerce. Anyway, just FYI, Automators did acquire WooCommerce back in 2015, along with Woo Themes. So there's just a little factoid for you in case you forgot where Woo came from and who owns it. So there you go. All right. Also in the news, lastly here, some sad news. Stephanie Hudson, a friend of mine who I've met through WordPress and WordCamp, she's awesome. She went on a 3-day business trip in Chicago about a month or 2 ago, and she had a completely unexpected and life-threatening medical emergency while she was there. And she spent a month in the hospital, and now she's in inpatient rehab. And there's a GoFundMe because she's not working. She runs an agency. She could use the help. So I put a link in the show notes for the GoFundMe. So if you have the wherewithal to donate, by all means, use the link, and that'd be great. All right. So, and we hope she gets better real soon and comes back because she's just an amazing person. Okay, moving on. Segment 2, 7 ways to automate your business. You know, over the past 9.5 years or so of podcasting, I'm pretty sure I've mentioned that I'm not a fan of certain automations, for some things. Some things I want to automate, yes, but one of those things that I never really wanted to do was my prospecting, sales kind of thing. I thought it was better to have a more hands-on approach, kind of that concierge aspect, that white glove thing, and it's just kind of like, I just never really wanted to be hands-off. I wanted to make sure I was involved very much so. Well, that being said, I'm changing things up a bit as I've created a productized service that makes this choice not only easier, but necessary because, it just has to be this way. Once it's productized, it's not so bespoke. Just for this one little thing that we're doing in the agency, it makes more sense. So here are 7 things you can do that I'm already doing or I'm implementing in the automation scheme of things, starting with, in no specific order here, but starting with lead capture in the sales process, meaning sales and email. In my case, I've created a series of emails. I've created templates in my CRM, which is Pipedrive. I've set some rules with the functionality that Pipedrive offers, i.e. I use a tag or a value of that lead that I assign. And once I move it from a lead to a new column, it starts that automation. So it sends the email number 1, waits a few days, sends a second email, etc. At the end of that sequence, if I have not made any contact with a lead, one way or another, I sent this off a couple weeks back. I started this, and I got within 2 days a email back from somebody that said stop. So I took them out of the process. Simple as that. This is just cold, warm leads. Kind of maybe I have a connection or I don't, but it is what it is. So I go ahead and remove it. At the end of the complete sequence, if I have not made any contact, that lead automatically gets a note created after a few days telling me that I can remove them as a lost opportunity. And then that's that. Now, also, depending on the CRM, you could also implement a form builder like a Gravity Form, WP Forms, Ninja Forms. We use Gravity Forms here all the time. And you could integrate that into your CRM. Like I could use Gravity Forms to send it to my Pipedrive. I could then tie that into a different set of emails. For example, if a customer inquires about something or they want the lead magnet or whatever, and then a certain follow-up process could go from there. All that is automated now. And now it's just a matter of just getting leads and just finding those people who I think might be interested in the product type service that we're offering. So that's first and foremost. Lead capture, sales process as far as the emails specifically go out. Okay. Number 2, project management tools. Now, utilizing project management tools like Trello, Asana, Basecamp. Again, we use Asana. So I want to make sure to tell you what we use in the agency. You could automate task assignments, deadlines. You can track progress on things. Integrations with your WordPress site can be done internal comms like Slack, or you can streamline communications and tasks and updates. My team is not aware of this yet, but I'm working to update this process so that once a new client does come on board, the project will be auto-created in Asana. So they don't know if this is coming, but it's coming. Okay. And keep in mind, some of these might require a small bump up from the free level to the paid level, and that is just the cost of doing business, in my opinion. All right. Thirdly, invoicing and billing. Now, who doesn't like to get paid? So if that's the case, you want to get paid, let's make it easy for clients to pay. You can integrate billing and invoicing like FreshBooks with QuickBooks with your website. Again, we use FreshBooks. I know a lot of people use Wave or QuickBooks, whatever it is they use. You can automate the process of sending an invoice. You can track the payments. You can easier to manage the finances. Yet another process that I'm going to have to rebuild, implement, as the way I have it now is not great. It's too much manual processing on my part because I have to do that part of it. I have to send the invoices out and set up a new client. So I'm thinking to myself now, once they come in, let's say to Pipedrive, and they agree to the product and they make the payment, it can very much be automated. So they say yes, the project gets created, an invoice gets sent, and once it's paid, then it moves to the next step in the process over in Asana. All that can be automated. Okay. So moving further down the line of things you can automate here for your content, it's content scheduling. Now, as I've said 1,000 times in the past, being consistent, showing up and doing the work will get you results. If adding a blog or a podcast or recording videos is part of your marketing strategy, then you need to publish often. And I hear you. I know some of you are all saying, but I'm not inspired to do whatever it is I need to do every day, every week. Fine, great. So then when you are inspired, take that time, block it out on your calendar, and do more than just one post or one video. Make 4, 5, 6 of them. And then use the built-in WordPress functionality or a plugin like Editorial Calendar or CoSchedule to automate that process. I mean, you can schedule, post, all those things in advance. If you have that motivation at that moment, if you block it out and you have the the muse gets you, then take advantage of it. Okay. So content scheduling is one thing you can totally automate as well. On the same vein of content, you can and should also do the same when it comes to your social media. Integrating social media, scheduling tools like Buffer or Hootsuite, we use Hootsuite, makes things really easy. Now, I've been doing this every week for the podcast from the very beginning. On Monday, I wake up, when the podcast is already done on the weekend, and I go and I schedule the week's worth of posts for that podcast out on different social media channels. Okay. Moving forward, 2 more to go here. Analytics and reporting, easy to do this. You can use plugins like Google Analytics, Monster Insights to automate traffic monitoring, generate reports, helps you understand the user behavior, helps you make better informed decisions. I don't do this right now. I mean, I use those tools, both of them, Monster Insights and Google Analytics, but I don't automate the information getting back to me or to my clients. It's something that I'm going to put on the list to do. It's not my priority at the moment because I don't offer that as a service, but it would be smart to know where traffic is coming from. Okay. And lastly here, automate your backups. I do this. You can use a WordPress plugin or a server-side solution or a service, which I use. I use Blog Vault, schedule regular backups of all the websites I manage, the databases, etc. This should be a no-brainer. You don't have to think about making a manual backup. And back in the day, you kind of had to do it manually, but there's no reason to anymore. You can easily go in and set this up in a service or with a plugin and have it go into multiple places. Amazon Web Services, you can have it go to a bucket, you can have it go to a Dropbox, whatever. Definitely want to have automate your backups. Okay, so now remember, choose your tools and plugins that are reputable, well-maintained, compatible with your specific setup. Test the new automations as well thoroughly before deploying them in a production environment, and I guarantee you, your life will become that much easier. So, okay. So there you go. Once again, I'll just kind of repeat them real quick. What was it? First one was lead capture sales process, use your CRM, have a sequence of emails, project management tools, Asana, Trello, Basecamp. You can also automate task assignments, deadlines, track progress on projects, invoicing and billing, content scheduling, social media, analytics and reporting, and automate your backups. Those 7. Is that 7? I think so. Yeah, sounds right. Okay, moving on. Segment 3, tip and tool of the week. In the vein, again, of automation, check out this podcast that I listen to often called the Automators podcast. It's over on relay.fm. Good show. It's about automating a lot of different things in different ways, not just software, but different tools and services and whatnot, using APIs, using Zapier. We didn't even get into Zapier. There's other ones as well, but maybe I'll do that one day too. All right, so check it out there. It's over at Automators Podcast. There's a link in the show notes. If you go to relay.fm, you'll find it there as well. All right, let me wrap it up here. If you have any questions, go ahead, send it in via email, adam@kitchensinkwp.com, or use that speak pipe function of the website. You can support the show, become a Patreon. There's a link on the show on the website as well. You can also sponsor the show. There's a form, fill it out. I'll get back to you. Thanks for listening. See you next week. Now go out and do some awesome things with WordPress. All right, bye-bye.